We're against the ropes. We're giving it all we got. It's going to be a tough week, but it's the Screen Sermon Podcast. We're back, and it's January. It's coming soon for January 2024. This is exciting because we're kind of flipping the calendar over to a new year. And yeah, man, it's the Boon, and I'm here with Josh, aka Iguana Lover 23. And yeah, we got to talk about kind of the doldrums of the movie calendar, or the release calendar, I guess. There's just not a ton going on this month, at least not a ton to be excited about, but I'm happy to have you back. I know that we're all kind of going through some shit right now. We're all going through some illnesses. We're going through technical difficulties. We're going through all sorts of things. So thanks for being with me. And I'm happy to have you back after you unfortunately had to miss Rare Exports last week.
Yeah, the fucking thing that I picked out for us, the Forden film, but it is what it is. Yeah, as far as January goes, I've always considered it dump month. That's where you put all the other shit that you don't really have too much confidence in. You got maybe one, maybe two high profile films released, and then the rest of it's just meh. Like Megan.
Yeah.
Megan was fucking last year's January release, basically.
Was it a January movie? For some reason I thought it was like March.
No, it came out in January last year.
Wow. And so real quick, I mean, I want to give you the floor if you wanted to give us like a quick blurb about Rare Exports, just because you didn't get a chance to kind of throw your input in there. And I know you did choose this movie, and Cody and I kind of beat it up a little bit, and so I wanted to give you a chance to defend it if you wanted to, or jump on the pile.
I don't know. I went through phases with it. Like, the first time I watched it, I didn't like it either. And then I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I watched it for the pod, and I settled on this is I enjoy this. I mean, the fucking, you got fucking Krampus, ice blocks, and fucking hunting Santa Claus. Lots of Finnish bullshit.
Yeah, I think Cody and I were in agreement that the concept of it was great. It was the follow through and the execution that we didn't like.
I was down with it. I watched the two short films that it was based on for the first time in prep for the episode that I didn't get to be on, and
yeah,
they go a lot more in the humor direction on those. Filming it like a fucking nature documentary.
Yeah, I thought the shorts were hilarious. But
yeah, that's one of the ones I had in the fucking mega list. But that's fine. It's fine. You guys got to see it, and then there was still an episode, so I'm still satisfied.
That's true. And like I said before in the chat, I think it might be my favorite YouTube thumb that I've made, just because it entertained me so. To kind of try to incorporate the Screen Sermon logo into like the art on the crate and stuff like that. I thought it was fun.
That's my favorite thumbnail so far, I think.
Nice. So yeah, we're talking about coming soon, like we always do, kind of at the top of the month or the end of the month. And so yeah, we're going to take a look at our top 3 releases for January of 2024, throw a few honorable mentions in there. Bada bing, bada boom. Keep it short and sweet, because I know that we're all, Josh and I and, several people connected to us, we're all going through a lot of stuff, a lot of illness, a lot of technical difficulties, a lot of personal difficulties, and so still trying to get these episodes out there, but also giving ourselves time to chill. So, if you wanted to, sir, I was going to give you the floor to go ahead and hit those, or do I do mine first? I can't even remember the format anymore.
Ever since, the kill list, you wanted to start going first, because you said that my the thing I do not intend to give up anytime soon, my privilege of picking first, which I do really enjoy, leads you to pick shit that ultimately decide on the episode that you don't actually give a fuck about.
I know. By the end of it, you just completely talk me out of it. I'm like, you're right. I don't fucking care about any of this.
So, you started doing first, and then I end with, because I think the kicker was the same episode that we ended with the kill list. Right before that, I had Saw 10, and you went, wow, you really took the fucking wind out of my sails.
Yeah, it was like, why do we talk about anything else after that? Like, it just makes sense for Josh to go last so that we end on a film that everybody wants to see and not just my dumbass picking at scraps.
Huh.
This month, though, I will say this month is different in that your top three is not basically what my top three probably would be, or at least 2 out of the 3 or something like that, because only one of yours would be on my top 3.
When that comes up, I'm interested to know what it is. Even though I think it's probably my number 1.
Probably. I think. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Real quick, I'll go ahead and throw down my honorable mentions. It'll be easy. I'm not even going to set the timer because I only have 2. So first of all is Miller's Girl. It's a Martin Freeman and Jenna Ortega vehicle. I'm not 100% sure who's behind it. It just seems to be a film about a college student, and she's a writer, and her college professor, I think, is an author of some renown, and they seem to have some kind of a salacious kind of thing going on between their student-teacher relationship, or it's at least implied, or it's assumed that that is what's happening, whether it may be or not. It sounds like it's something that Jenna Ortega's character might be kind of spurning on, even though Martin Freeman isn't really feeding into it, or vice versa. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I'm a fan of both of the main actors in that film, and the premise of it looks like, a decent drama, something where they can really get their acting chops going. And I feel like Jenna Ortega has always been playing, for the most part, like a good person, a heroine of some kind or another, even if it's kind of an offbeat one like Wednesday. And so if she is like the kind of fatal attraction, kind of villainous college student trying to take advantage of her famous professor, it kind of gives her a different look at a role from what I've seen her in, at least recently. So that was on there. And then the only other one of note that I had was Echo, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, their latest upcoming series. I usually keep up with most of them outside of She-Hulk, and I know Daredevil's supposed to come back. Charlie Cox's Daredevil, who I think he was absolutely amazing in the role when it was the Netflix series, so I'm excited to see him come back and see what happens kind of in that universe on a small scale, because obviously Daredevil doesn't fight Thanos and shit like that, so I'm not terribly interested in Echo the character, but the series itself, I'll be interested to see what they do with it and where it leads. But yeah, that was it for honorable mentions.
It's weird because you usually have a lot more than I do, but I think I brought 5 to the table, and one of them is cheating, and I'll start with that one. So really, I brought 4. The first one is Society of the Snow. Okay. It was your monthly fuck up from last month. And I don't have to talk about it because watch the last fucking episode. Next is Tim, or Tim. It's essentially Megan, but if it was a male. Instead of being a horror, it's a thriller sci-fi movie. I have Sunrise, a film about an ex-cop who returns to the scene of a crime, and the residents there discover that he's actually a vampire. Probably shit, but I'll watch it anyway. This one, it's an indie film, I'm pretty sure, but you'll know why it got me in a second. It's called The Raven of Baltimore City. Mm-hmm. It's a film about a vigilante who comes into contact with a purse snatcher and then ends up becoming a superhero based off of a raven. And me and you being from Baltimore and both being Ravens fans, it's I'm gonna seek that out if I can find it.
Yeah, I didn't even see that was a thing.
Yeah, when I was looking, I was looking specifically for what was coming out because I saw jack shit for January, so I really fucking trudged through the mud of releases to find some stuff. But lastly, I have what the fuck is it called? Punch. It's another one of those children's characters gone horror. This one's about Mr. Punch. Had no idea who the hell that is. Apparently, it's a puppet that I am too young to be familiar with. From a puppet show that I am too young to be familiar with. But my mom recognized the character when I brought it up, so yeah.
There you go.
That's all I got.
And did you see, because I know like we don't double dip on honorable mention, did you happen to have Miller's Girl on yours? I know you wouldn't have Echo on yours, but Miller's Girl, was that any interest to you?
I didn't hear of it. Or maybe I saw the title and I
Okay.
just didn't like do a deeper dive into it because it just didn't catch my eye.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I there was just so, we've talked about it before about how I need to figure out a different way to locate my films, because I mean I always seem to be missing things that you find, and then the release date information is always skewed, which is why I make my monthly fuck up, even though it's become part of the show.
That's fine, because I'm starting to have the same problem now. Well, yeah. Maybe it might just because it's January, but like when I do 3 months in advance, I pick a few things and see how things change, and
right.
I had to go and correct some dates myself that I saw that didn't line up with what I consider to be the ultimate authority on when things release. I just use IMDb, because it said The Strangers, Chapter 1, the first film in the new reboot, was coming out in February, and it was just listed there for who knows why. So we're always going to run into that problem. Fortunately, it'll be you that fucks it up, so I can keep ragging on you, but we're always going to have that problem.
It will forever be my cross to bear, and that's okay. I have the shoulders. I could carry it. And I think actually now, as we're getting into our number 3s, I think this is where I fucked up. Yep. So. The other thing that I've noticed is Netflix releases. Netflix releases are almost always okay. I guess except for Society of the Snow, I did mess that up. But the festivals always fuck me too. It's usually
foreign films that...
The stuff... Yeah. It's like, well, it released in, to Cannes in September, but it doesn't come out in the US until next year, like in April or some shit like that. It's like, well, I really messed up. So... my first film, and it doesn't come out in January. As a matter of fact, it's already out. It came out in October.
Right now.
Yeah, I could go watch it today. Is Foe, which is a kind of sci-fi, but also drama. I'm not familiar with anybody in it, really, but it's essentially the lives... there's a married couple whose lives are kind of turned upside down because the guy is offered an opportunity to go live on a space station, but they don't agree to take the wife, and so the way to kind of make up for that is they basically agree to make her a synthetic, like, android version of her husband so that they don't leave her by herself. And it just looks like a wacky, like, drama sci-fi premise that I kind of... At first it just seemed like a weird kind of romance film, and then when they flipped it on its ear and it's about space and like synthetics and stuff like that, I was like, oh shit. So just kind of it was like a different angle to take on a sci-fi film, I felt. And I honestly, I think one of the biggest detriments of it is that I don't know anybody in it, and so for me it's hard to get excited about, like, oh, the performances are going to be great or anything like that, and it's like I have no idea if it's going to be any good at all. But yeah, unfortunately, it released in October in the US and November in Australia, and those are kind of the two countries that are attached to the film. And I know Amazon has the distribution rights, so I'm not sure if it's on like Prime streaming yet, but yeah, like you said, like you could rent it right now. It's directed by Garth Davis. It's the screenplay is also by Garth Davis, and then the guy that wrote the novel that this is based on, Ian Reed. So I guess they worked on the teleplay together. But yeah, outside of that, I'm familiar with Paul Mescal's name, but I'm not 100% sure what I've seen him in.
Is he in The Boogeyman? I feel like he was in The Boogeyman.
He may have been in The Boogeyman. Let me look. I don't know. The movie was so mediocre, for the record. Yeah, I don't know. Drifting, The Lost Daughter, After Sun, God's Creatures, Carmen, All of Us Strangers, Gladiator 2, which isn't out yet, obviously. But yeah, Yeah. So, I don't know. That was my number 3. Weird spin on a sci-fi, like kind of leaning more into the drama, kind of romance, a marriage story, but wrapped up in a sci-fi thing. Kind of caught my eye. Garth Davis's name should be familiar, but it's not. I'm not. Yeah. Mary Magdalene, Top of the Lake, Lion. I'm not familiar with his films. I guess his name is. I must be thinking of like Garth Ennis or something like that. But yeah, like I said, it looked interesting. It looked good. The performances looked good. The trailer was well made, so it's what captured my attention and ended up in my number 3. And January is just fucking hard. And so when MovieInsider.com, which by the way I curse your fucking name for over and over again. I know that this is user error. Like, it's my fault. I should do some further follow up. But like, if you're listing this shit as coming out in January, I'm like, okay, it's a January movie, and then I ended up putting it on my list. But, you know, this is how I found it, is thinking that it was coming out in January. But it wouldn't have made the cut in any month that has any number of significant releases coming out. So, but yeah, that's my number 3. I don't really have much more to say about it.
I saw the name and I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. And then I watched the trailer and went, this seems familiar. And it was already on my list of shit to watch to catch up in January for 2023.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was interested in this because the author that wrote the book that this is based on wrote another book that I've had on my list of shit to read for a while, but I haven't got around to yet. He also wrote I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with the title.
It was a Netflix limited series that adapted from it.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I'm getting. Yeah,
I often confuse it with 13 Reasons Why, but
okay.
I think it's similar subject matter.
Okay, it sounds like it just based on the title.
So yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. There's not too much to dive deep into. In fact, I think that's going to be the case for every movie we're going to talk about today. So I was thinking that too. A nice, short, easy, sweet episode because there's no sense of us just trying to fucking run out the clock. So, it's about terraforming other planets and shit like that.
So I assume the husband is like a scientist or an engineer of some kind where they can use him and the wife doesn't have that skill set, which is why they're willing to leave her behind.
Given the fact that that's a current talking point in 2023 and then 2024, which, I don't think I'm educated enough to give an opinion on, but, how about we work on not fucking up the planet that we're on first, before we worry about fucking up other planets. But yeah.
No, it's too late for that, Josh. We've already fucked this one up so hard.
Fucking stop continuing to fuck it up.
Yeah, but fracking, isn't that I don't know what fracking is, but it sounds awful. Cracking open the earth for gases or some shit like that.
For oil in the ocean or something.
I thought it was gases. I don't know.
The same shit? I don't know.
Gas and oil.
It's called gas, so it's the same.
Gas is vapor. It's fucking vapors and I don't know. We talk about the movies, folks. We don't know what the fucking gas and oil and
fucking
vapor is.
Greenpeace is going to be all up in Screen Sermon's DMs.
That's fine. Fucking DM us. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a suggestion about a movie I can watch to learn more about fracking. I'll fucking watch it, cover it on the show. Let's do it.
About fracking.
Fuck yes, and that was on fucking Canopy. Did I tell you that?
It's on my... I'm gonna get to it.
I want to watch it.
You haven't watched it? It was like the first fucking pick of coming soon for you.
No, I saw it was on Canopy, but I was on there to watch whatever the fuck I used it for recently. Shit, I can't remember. Anyway, and I saw...
So that's what my favorite. Whatever the fuck I was going to say.
Oh, it was fucking Tangerine. I was on Canopy to watch Tangerine, and I saw that We Blew Up a Pipeline was on there, and I was like, oh shit, I need to watch that. And of course, I haven't gotten back to it.
We Blew Up a Pipeline? That's the sequel, dude.
Isn't that what
How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
Isn't that what it's called? Oh, How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Fucking, I don't know. That episode was almost a year ago. I can't fucking remember. I didn't want to see it that bad. It was an honorable mention for Christ's sake.
It's a fucking movie that puts you on an FBI watch list if you go to search for it.
Yeah, shit. If I watch it, I'm gonna get fucking flagged and I'm gonna lose my job. That's all I need.
Only thing left I have to say is, comes out on the 4th on Prime Video. I don't know if that sets you... I mean, I don't even want to fault you too much, because I think we've agreed that if it's an international release, we go by the US release date. But, like, it's in English-speaking countries, so it's already on everything. So even though it didn't get an American release date, it's still on everything and has subtitles. It doesn't need subtitles, and so I don't fucking know.
But it's gone. Thank you for giving me just like at least a half pass on that. I appreciate it.
Fuck it. Sorry, Joe.
Fuck it. That's right. We're gonna get through this, and we're gonna be talking about Terminator for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
So I guess I'll jump into my my number 3, which surprised isn't higher, honestly, but I'll get into why in just a second. In fact, that's my first talking point. The reason why it's not too high is because I'm hesitant about this remake. It's Mean Girls, the 2024 Mean Girls reboot.
Yeah.
It is the film adaptation of the Mean Girls musical, which is an adaptation of the Mean Girls movie.
Oh my god.
This is a musical. And yeah, fucking, there's enough degrees of separation where if it's anything like Mean Girls 2, it's gonna suck. But hopefully it's not.
So, I was a little baffled when I saw this on your top 3, because I'm just like, why the fuck does Josh care about Mean Girls? And that's not to disparage anybody out there that likes Mean Girls, okay? I readily admit it's not for me, right? They didn't make that movie for me. And I mean, I've seen it, but they didn't make it for me, and I thought it was pretty forgettable for the most part. Evidently, it defined a generation of children, like of girls, right? Of women. And so I see, like, and Josh, evidently. But, like, my wife knows Mean Girls, like, and is very familiar with it. And then now, like, I'm seeing it on yours, and I'm like, what is his connection? So I would love to see that. So I didn't know that it was an adaptation of the musical, which was an adaptation of the film. I didn't know that. I thought they were just rebooting it. And to me, watching the trailer, I was like, it just seems like, I feel like what they do with a lot of things these days, where they re-release things or they recreate things, and it's just all so mean-spirited now, like the humor in it and stuff like that. Like back then it was, I don't know. I don't know if it's just hitting me differently because I'm an adult or something, but it's just the humor style is different. And, I think it obviously has to change because of the times and stuff. Like, you have to kind of match your audience in terms of how you approach jokes and the timing of jokes and what those jokes are about and the things that you reference and stuff. It obviously can't be the same as Mean Girls from whenever the fuck the original came out. But yeah, there was just something about it where I was like, I feel like they just are re-releasing this for a new generation of teens, and now it's R-rated, and it's going to be a little raunchier and a little more mean-spirited than the original.
Still the case.
But right. So anyway, what's your connection? I want to know what your connection is. Because we're fucking related, and I didn't know that you
like
cared
Mean
about this
Girls.
film.
It's not really that deep.
Fucking stunning admission on episode 39 of the Screen Sermon Podcast. Quote, I just like Mean Girls. Fair enough.
Believe it or not, it's a fucking movie that I used to quote a lot in high school.
I don't think I could tell you one fucking thing that anybody says in that film.
You've heard quotes from there. You've heard on Wednesdays we wear pink.
I probably have.
You've heard You Can't Sit With Us.
That doesn't strike me as Mean Girls.
Whoa, fuck.
Because that, to me, that's just like somebody making a riff on Forrest Gump. Like, you can't sit here.
Are we gonna need fucking Boone needs to see Mean Girls? Oh, you have seen Mean Girls.
I've seen it.
Are we gonna need an episode of Boone needs to appreciate? I mean, our new episode type. Boone needs to You know what? I'm saying this is a joke. Don't get your fucking hopes up, anyone listening, because it's not happening. But a fucking insert person here needs to appreciate. I mean, fucking, you watch Mean Girls, I'll watch Midsummer.
No, you watch Blair Witch.
No, that's a different episode. That's fucking Josh needs the shit all over.
Because I like Midsummer, but like Blair Witch definitely hits different for me than it does for you.
What fucking
so similar to Mean Girls.
Well, I don't think Mean Girls is like the best fucking. You're making it sound like a Mean Girls lover. 23.
Well, and also I do want to illustrate. Like, I don't hate Mean Girls. I don't even think about it.
When I rated it, I gave it 9 out of 10. I also fucking gave Barbie 10 out of 10, by the way. So
shit, and that's on HBO, and I need to watch it. I haven't done it yet.
I don't know. Maybe I'm learning things about myself here.
Maybe they're not wrong. They're not things that you should be ashamed of or bad.
Looking at the cast, other than a couple reprisals with Tina Fey and Tim Meadows returning as their characters from the original, I did catch that. Fuck, I'm gonna butcher the shit out of his name. Aluii Cravalho. Sure. He's playing Janice in this movie, and I was like, that name sounds vaguely familiar. Who the fuck is that? It's the woman who did the voice of Moana.
Oh, okay.
In a live-action role. Which is why I probably butchered the Polynesian name just now. So sorry to every person.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone in general.
Just everyone.
But,
sorry. Sorry, everybody.
My hopes are I don't expect much coming out of this, which is why I have it so low. Even though I do like Mean Girls a lot. I mean, you could take fucking Mean Girls and fucking a butter knife and fucking spread that shit on bread because it's my jam. But
That was dumb. Hated that, but I laughed, so I must have liked it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm fucking down to clown with it. Fuck it.
I mean, let me put it this way. I know I'm gonna probably end up watching this with my wife.
Me too. My wife is the one that doesn't want to.
And that's the thing, is that I can say the difference is like I'm down to see what they've done with the product or the property over the years, like, and what they decide that their new vision is. Isn't Tina Fey? Didn't she write it, or is she producing it, or something?
She wrote the first one. And
she did.
I believe she's. I don't know if she wrote this one or if she's just in a producer role. She might be. She might be EP.
Either way. Okay, I didn't realize she was as invested in the first one as she was outside of being.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
And you know what? I think I would go as far as I think, as weird as it is, I think this might be January's biggest release.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. Outside of maybe your number one.
But even then, I mean, as far as like name recognition goes, when we'll get to what my number one is, that doesn't have it at all. Whereas this one is like, fuck yeah, Mean Girls, the musical, the movie.
Yeah. It's got the name, yeah. It's a recognizable franchise. It has people attached to it who people know their names.
I'm gonna go out
stuff
on
like
a limb
that.
and say that this is the big release for January. And I'm gonna go out on another limb and say it's gonna fucking bomb.
I was gonna say now that you've said that, though, even though it will be the highest grossing film that is released in January, do you think a December release is gonna beat the shit out of it all throughout January? It's fantastic. Because I gotta say, the kids and the wife and I just went and saw Migration on Tuesday. Pretty fucking awesome.
So,
it's a great little animated film.
I'm excited for Migration. I'm wary of that too, because fucking Illumination has their own type of humor that's very hit or miss.
Yeah,
it all depends on if you like Minions or not, basically, whether or not you vibe with it. Because Mario had that, and in my opinion, bogged it down a bit. But fucking Mean Girls, gonna be It's gonna be in pretty much every goddamn theater as a January release on the 12th. So go check that out if you're interested in movies based on musicals based on movies. And you know what? And before you shit all over the concept of movies being based on musicals based on movies, allow me to present you this. Little Shop of Heart. So, fuck it.
Okay. Alright. I accept. And I do love that movie.
It's based on a musical, based on a movie. Oh.
Alright. I fucking throw in the towel on that one.
It's still gonna probably suck, but...
Probably. It's probably gonna suck. But we'll see what happens. Alright. My number 2, I took a flyer on this one, because I wasn't sure. This is how volatile the month of January was. It was either going to be this or Echo. I was going to move Echo all the way up to number 2. So I know what you're thinking, like, well, then why isn't it 3? I don't know. I really don't know.
You don't know how ranking works, do you?
I don't. I have no clue. What is the show that we do? I don't know.
Sorry.
You're like, rank these. All right, now rank them again. Why aren't they the same?
Yeah, that fucking film list you did that with, you were like, this is my number 1. I don't want to see it at all.
This looks so bad. I don't want to watch it. So my number 2 release that I'm looking forward to in the month of January, and I'm pretty sure it comes out. Yeah, it does. Okay, it comes out in January for sure. Is Boy Swallows Universe. It's a series coming to Netflix, 8-episode series. It starts on January the 11th. It's not Disney Plus. Okay, the whole thing is going to come out on January 11th. And it is a show. It's semi-autobiographical, is what they say, and it's effectively about a kid named Eli Bell. He grows up in kind of a blue-collar household, I think in Australia. I think the whole thing takes place in Australia. I think it was written and put forth by Australians.
I said it looked like that. It had Sophie Wilde, who was the lead in Talk to Me, in it.
Oh, I still haven't seen that yet. But it looks fucking amazing. I want to see it. And then I think that the novel that this is also written or based on is the guy that wrote it is Australian, and etc. etc. So it revolves around this kid named Eli Bell. He's a blue-collar kid, or his family's blue-collar family. He's growing up in Brisbane, Australia, and effectively he gets thrust into being involved in very adult things, the underworld. His mom is like in debt or in danger from like the mob or a gang or something like that, and he has to get involved in one way or another to help her. And so I think it's just this contrast between him being this kid, like a high school kid, or I think he's a high school age kid, and then all of a sudden being thrust into a very dangerous, situation and world, and having to grow up very quickly. Kind of a, it almost seems like a crime drama twist on a coming of age story, which I thought was cool. And what I actually really appreciate is I read a very vague synopsis of what this is, and then I watched the trailer, which shows you a lot of things, but doesn't tell you shit that's happening. And so I really don't know what this is about 100% outside of the kind of, the back of the VHS that I kind of regurgitated out of there. That's all I've got. And I'm not 100% sure what this show is, but it looked good, and the concept of it sounds good in terms of this whole kind of seedy underworld in Brisbane, and a high school kid or a kid having to help his family by kind of growing up before he's ready to, and stuff like that. It sounds good. So yeah, like I said, it's dropping on Netflix on January 11th. I'm excited to watch it. Looks good to me. And the only person I recognize in it is Travis Fimmel, which I know from Vikings.
So my few notes for this, because I had no fucking clue what to write for this one.
Yeah.
We'll just go down the line. The first thing is the only actor I noticed was Sophie Wilde, who was in Talk to Me, which was great.
So you don't even know Travis Fimmel?
No, I don't recognize him.
So he was in the I'm trying to sell you on him like it matters, but So he was the lead in Vikings, and then he was the main character in the Warcraft movie that came
He
out a
looks
few years
familiar,
ago.
but I can't fucking place anything they was in.
Okay. Gotcha. He always reminds me of the dude.
I'm looking at his IMDb, and I'm not recognizing anything.
He reminds me of the dude that plays Jax on Sons of Anarchy. Charlie.
I haven't seen that either, so I don't know.
Okay, well, never mind. They look like they could be related, in my opinion. Don't at me, internet. Or do. I don't fucking care. Go ahead and argue with me. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
my second note was, you know, I don't know exactly what the fuck's going on, but I appreciate that it involves a kid invading this criminal underworld and, like, fucking talking shit to skinheads and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you start to lose your hair before you shaved your head? And my other two notes are just fucking stupid.
Sell me on it.
It's a Netflix original limited series, which means it's either going to be, you know, pretty decent or the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. Because Netflix...
Could you give me an example of both?
I don't know, most things are fucking awful that come from there. But some recent highlights, just off the top of my head, the last one I remember was I enjoyed the Dahmer show. Even though I think that's the second fucking time today I brought up Dahmer.
Yeah, we were talking about Dahmer earlier.
I haven't seen it, so I can't speak on whether it's bad or not. But despite not being an anime fan, I still am interested in the One Piece show. And I am a fan of Avatar, so I'm excited for the live action Avatar too. Is that a fucking January release?
Me too.
Because I swear, if I'm looking, hold on a minute.
I don't think so.
Oh no,
I don't
February
think so.
22nd. Okay, well we'll get to that next month. Spoiler alert.
We'll fight over that. You're like, there's no fight. It's going on mine.
I don't know. Maybe I don't remember what the fuck I had bookmarked. You might I think you're just gonna get it by the skin of your fucking teeth. Because I'm gonna pick that trailer that I sent you last month, and I went, this looks pretty cool, and you went, I have no fucking interest.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, I had two more notes when I was going through the list of people who worked on it and not recognizing anyone. I saw the cinematography person was named Shelley Farthingdahl, and I read that as Shelley Fartingdahl, so I wrote that down.
Absolutely.
While looking at the cast, here are some of the names of the characters in the show. Slim Halliday, Titus Braz, Bitch Dang, and Poppy Birkbeck. So those are all future Pick'em names. Oh, and Titch.
Oh, great. Titch, yes.
So, you know, that was my only other note. I was like, what the fuck are these names?
What's with these names?
Oh, and Lyle Orlick, but that one's not as bad as the other ones.
No,
yeah, that one's not
agree.
fucking, I spilled my Scrabble letters and this is what I'm naming my character.
Grimjow Jaggerjack. It's the character's name from an anime. I can't remember what it was, though. But his name was Grimjow Jaggerjack, yeah. I want to say it was from, like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something like that. I'd look it up, but I have no fucking clue how to spell Grimjow Jaggerjack.
Bobo.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Fuck, what was that from?
Yeah,
no, that was
the name of the guy and the show.
Yeah.
When I was
hilarious.
Preteen and I actually watched anime a little bit, that was one of the ones I was into because it was fucking stupid. And that appealed to me. So yeah.
Alright, I'm looking up. I gotta look him up, I'm sorry. Grimjow Jaggerjack is evidently from... I think he's from Bleach. Yeah, he's from Bleach. Well, whatever. Sorry, go ahead. Fuck him. Fuck that show.
This comes out on the 11th to Netflix. Is it staggered episodes, or is they just dumping it?
It's just fucking all in.
Well,
To the balls. They give it all to you.
you're getting fucking every...
Disney Plus, they fucking,
Tell me I'm getting every inch of Boy Swallow.
Yes. 100%.
Alright, well, we're not beating that, so let's just move on. My number 2 was Founders Day.
Yes.
Directed by Eric Bloomquist, who did She Came from the Woods, that released this year in, I want to say January, or I think it was January also. And that makes sense, because it wasn't good. They tend to not
There
be.
you go.
But this one, it's another holiday slasher about Founders Day, which is a holiday that I learned about for the first fucking time when the first trailer came out. Sure, fuck it, why not? I'm down.
Let me just say that it absolutely makes sense that this is on your top 3 because of, the nature of the film. But yeah, I mean, watching the trailer, first of all, I have no fucking clue what Founders Day is. So to me, it just kind of struck me as like a politically driven kind of slasher horror film. And there's been some good ones of those.
It's something to do with local
this one
elections, I think.
Yeah, it's like a I don't even want to say a mayor, because that seems to be too big.
I think it was the mayor.
Was it the mayor? But it's like mayor of a small town. It's not like mayor of New York. Yeah. So so from what I was seeing in the trailer, I picked up a few notes. First of all, I love that there's a quote in there that says one of the best slashers of the year. The fucking thing's coming out in January.
It was okay, but let me defend that, because I saw that too, and I had a laugh about that myself. But then I justified it to myself. It's either A,
okay,
it's just a joke and it's fucking funny, or B, it's because
it's
because it premiered at I think Popcorn Film Fest in November or October.
Okay.
So, and it was.
So it's saying based on films from 2023, it's one of the best slashers.
I hope it's the alternative.
I hope it's the joke, because it's pretty fucking funny.
The best slasher I've seen all year.
And then the other, yeah, best slasher I've seen. The only one that's out so far. The acting looks abhorrent. It looks so bad. And the other thing I noticed, and this could have just been the trailer, but I'm not 100% sure that it is, but the music sounds god fucking awful. Like, distractingly bad, where it's going to take me out of it at any given moment. It might just be a really, really bad trailer, though. I'm not sure. But anyway, now that I've shit all over it, I want to know more about why it piques your interest, or if there is anything else other than it's January and it's a slasher, and I'll take
both of those, but also I have this, I've mentioned before, affinity for holiday horror, especially slashers. And I think, this all started with, we can all trace all of this back to Scream, but the resurgence, because I think because of Thanksgiving, with it being the Thanksgiving slasher, and then we had It's a Wonderful Knife set at Christmas time, and this is another slasher whodunit, this time placed at a holiday that no one gives a fuck about, except probably the people running for office. Even then, it's a stretch.
Can you tell me what
I'm not even going to look it up, I don't care.
Okay. That's because I have no idea.
I don't give a shit. It's like,
I feel like that's a thing that they invented for fucking BioShock Infinite.
Look, you got your fucking tier, right? You got 4th of July, you got Independence Day, and you got fucking Juneteenth, right? And then a rung below that, you got President's Day. And then below that, you got Flag Day. And below that, you have the individual president's birthdays. And then below that, you have Founders Day.
Where does Arbor Day
Isn't that
fit
about
there?
fucking trees? Oh, what
Yes.
does that have to do with politics? I was naming political holidays.
Oh, I thought you were just naming like the tier list of holidays and
Well,
their
then I would have
importance.
started with fucking Christmas, Brent.
Oh yeah, that's true.
4th of July.
That makes more sense.
Oh shit. Fucking. You know what? I give a shit more about Arbor Day than Founders Day. And this is an open call.
I couldn't even tell you what fucking month Arbor Day is
I
in.
don't care about that to look it up either. But this is an open call to indie filmmakers and myself.
There you go.
Somebody make an Arbor Day slasher.
Shit,
I will watch
yes.
the fuck out of that.
Absolutely.
If no one else makes it, I'll probably not. But I'll think about it.
Dude, we can circle back. We can challenge Greenpeace to make a horror film about people
Yeah, you
defending
get in my
trees
fucking.
and willing to take any fucking measure necessary to defend them.
You know what? I changed my mind. I don't want that at all because I know exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be It's going to be the fucking like Polonia Brothers or the guy who did fucking Blood and Honey, and they're going to make this preachy fucking Birdemic ass. I just watched those, by the way. They're on my mind. Ass.
I know you've been fucking slumming it.
That might be the biggest tragedy that's faced me recently. Dark, if anyone knows.
It's really
it's gonna have a fucking Greta Thunberg reference. I already know it. Just get it out of the way, right? The first fucking line, just do it, because otherwise I'm gonna spend the whole fucking movie watching it, waiting for that stupid fucking line, that stupid fucking reference. Just get it out of the way. Or, better yet, don't write this fucking movie. I did a complete
just don't make the
180
movie.
already.
You turned around. Yeah, the Arbor Day slasher's done. Fuck would you even call it? Like it? Yeah. It's
Fucking.
no
Oh, you know what it's gonna be? They're gonna make the Lorax a horror movie. It's gonna be a bunch of fucking.
That's
It's
your
gonna be
Arbor
this
Day
little
slasher.
gremlin and a bunch of ents.
I love it. Fucking book it. I won't watch it.
I'll
but
watch it. Okay.
do it anyway.
What were we talking about? Oh, Founders Day. Oh,
Fucking Founders
fucking movie and shit.
This is the fucking drunk show. This is the episode where Josh and I got fucked up before we rushed to
The
court.
fucking killer seems obvious based on the trailer. Won't say who.
Yeah, it does.
I also thought that during It's a Wonderful Life, and I won't reveal here whether or not I was right, but, you know, I feel like I'm right for this one because I don't feel like it's gonna have a lot to throw at me. But it got extremely positively reviewed at film fests, so we'll fucking see. Yeah.
Oh, really? What film festivals was
I
it
think
at?
Popcorn Frights is the one that it premiered at. I think. Yeah, I didn't fucking write it down, but I think that was the one. So it comes out.
Alright. That's the one festival.
That's
It's our one
an
festival.
esteemed festival. There's some good shit that comes out of there. There's some not good shit. But, yeah.
I'm sure.
It comes out on the 19th. And it didn't say where. If
Okay, I was about to say
a
where.
theatrical release, it's going to be limited. It's probably going to be one of those things I can't fucking find. Or alternatively, it might just go directly to VOD. That's where I'm going to watch it.
Tubi, fucking shout out.
It might. Probably not for
Who knows?
a couple months after. I don't know. Fuck it. Founders Day.
Fuck
Arbor Day.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
Did you
Be
see
on the
that,
lookout. Fucking 2027.
The original Steamboat Willie cartoon is in public domain next month.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I already
No.
call Screamboat Willie, so no one take that.
Oh, fucking good. I was thinking Cleveland Steamboat Willie, but that's the porn version.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking Screamboat Willie's really good.
I can't wait. It's gonna be awful.
Fuck. So I'm gonna go to my number one, which actually, the more I thought about it, this has potential to give Mean Girls 2024 a run for its money, I think.
I don't know.
But I think yours does too, because yours is definitely a date movie.
My number 1 or my number 3?
So, you're number 1.
I think Mean Girls has both of these beat, honestly.
You're probably right. So, my number 1 film for the month of January is ISS, aka International Space Station. I knew I was gonna fuck that, and I still did. It just has a good premise. You've got the American and Russian astronauts living aboard the International Space Station together. Trailer kind of sets it up real nicely. You see an explosion down on the Earth's surface, and then it becomes a series of explosions. Turns out a war has broken out, and both American and Russian governments are urging the astronauts of their country to take over the ISS because of how important it's going to be moving forward in the conflict. And so at first it kind of starts out as this there's this ambassador kind of feeling to it, where they're coming together in the name of science because they're elevated beings, and they're all scientists at the end of the day, regardless of what country they come from. And then of course it turns into, we have to use our meager resources that we have to try to figure out how to subdue or kill these other people so we can take control of the space station, and all hell breaks loose. This is a Bleecker Street distributed film, which this is another one of those companies that's starting to really catch my eye, that a lot of the movies that I'm paying attention to seem to be coming from them. I don't know if you have any insight on that company at all.
No, I don't know what the hell that is. What have they made?
Okay, I keep seeing the name. I feel like I keep seeing the name on shit that I'm interested in. So I don't know. I got to keep an eye out on who's supposedly, like, who's like, where do they come from? Like, who's
I'm
back?
looking at to see if they did anything I recognize. Not seeing anything.
No. Maybe I'm also just fucking crazy, or going through a midlife crisis or something, and I think that I've seen it before, but I haven't. The other thing I can say is that
is a horror movie. Insane is a horror movie that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's the only
really
thing
familiar
of theirs that I've seen.
Okay. So I'm looking at the cast here. I've definitely seen these people in things. Like Costa Ronan, I probably saw him in Homeland, maybe. John Gallagher Jr.'s face is very familiar to me, but I'm not sure why. I know, I'm never going to say his name correctly, so I'm just going to say Euron Greyjoy from Game of Thrones is a very familiar face to me. I think his name, Johan, but I don't know how to say his last name. Espake? Something like that. Chris Messina.
Hey, he was actually in the Boogeyman.
He was, yes, and he's like the Mindy Project, like, love interest, I think. So yeah, like, I've seen these people in things. Their names don't necessarily jump out at me. But it's one of those ones where when you see them, you're like, oh yeah, I fucking saw him and whatever. And I have no clue who this director is. None.
Gabriella Copperthwaite, right? Yeah? Cool.
That's the name.
Yep. She gained a lot of fucking notoriety from a specific film, which is on the Screen Sermon Future Episode Podcast Megalist Extravaganza.
Alright, I'm gonna take a guess, because I'm looking at her filmography right now. Alright, I got it pulled up. It's obviously not ISS. I almost spelled fucking Mississippi without an M there. Jesus. Alright, let me see. Okay. Blackfish.
The really sad fucking dying whale movie.
Yeah. The kind of movie that would make my wife cry, because she loves orcas.
Yeah, that's on the fucking megalist for the pod, which we may, as a potential film to cover.
We've never done a doc.
Is it a doc? I thought it was a is it like a straight documentary? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, fuck it.
I'm not saying we wouldn't do one. We never have.
They're not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, but yeah, Gabriella Cowperthwaite. I've never.
I wish we were big
the
enough
name was nothing.
to be able to get guests that actually know what the fuck the subject matter is. That way we could like talk to somebody and not sound fucking stupid the whole time. Like, get a fucking whaleologist or whatever the fuck they're called in there, bitch, and
it's that now. Or if it's not, it should be.
Fuck.
Fucking whaleologist. I studied whaleology at fucking
SeaWorld.
Yeah. That sounds right to me. SeaWorld University.
Yeah. So this would have if it weren't for my top 3, I think this would have been, if we were doing 4, this would have been my number 4. It would have been my honorable mentions. Also, you win the space shit this month.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck? Yeah. Thank God Boy Swallow... I mean, Universe, though, is in the title. You know? Boy Swallows Universe. Has nothing to do with the universe, but... Yeah.
Yeah, so the fucking thing that drew me into this more than anything in the world is that it's from the Blacklist. So I have to fucking watch it. And to anyone listening who doesn't know what the Blacklist is, a bunch of film authorities pick a bunch of unproduced scripts and say, hey, these are our favorite that were sent our way this year, and eventually a lot of them get made into films in an indeterminate amount of time. But they were deemed to be good enough scripts that executives were like, hey, what about this? And usually those, not always, but usually those films end up being pretty good. So,
yeah. And you turned me on to that because I had no clue what that was. So I got it. Yeah. Well, maybe not on the show, but we've talked about it before. And then, so I just wanted to double back to Bleecker Street. This is literally... I don't know if this is a testament to just how good their marketing is, because I remembered that logo so well and the name. Or if I'm
thinking
just
of William Street from Adult Swim? Because that's what I was thinking.
No, and I know that's not my problem. For some reason, I feel like I just know this logo really well, like almost to the point where it's like it's as familiar to me as not as A24, but like it's getting there. I'm trying to think of another one. What's the other one? Neon. I think it's getting to the point where I feel like it's at that level to me, but it can't be, and here's why. I only know 3 fucking movies that are Bleecker Street. Haven't seen any of them. Let me just put that out there. One of them is Mafia Mama from last year, that Toni Collette movie where she takes over the mob, and I thought it looked funny. I think it was on my honorable mentions. ISS is the second one, and then Out of Darkness, that flick coming out next month, is also a Bleecker Street movie.
We'll get
That's it. I don't recognize any of their other shit. I don't recognize anything else. So yeah, ISS. Like I said, I thought the premise is good. Cast is solid. It's people that you would recognize, even if not by name necessarily. It looks like it's going to be a solid little movie. I'm interested to see what they do with it. And so far, and I know this is hard to go off of, but 92% of critics are positive, giving it a score of well over 7 out of 10 at least so far. And so it's a very limited pool that they're taken from, but you know, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be solid at least. And so that releases January 19th, and I think it's going to be a wide release because of the marketing they've done for it. So
I imagine so. It might be harder to find than my number 1 or Mean Girls. Even then, I think that this will probably, as far as like box office goes, for January releases, which I think are going to take a hit from December, because I think shit like fucking Wonka and other December movies, I think that they're going to make most of the money and take them away. But yeah, I think it'll be like the 3rd most profitable film of the month.
behind Mean Girls, and then whatever from December is actually making all the money.
Mean Girls, and then my number one, and then this. But like as far as box office goes,
Okay.
I think everything's gonna suffer from December releases. I forget what the fuck came out in December. Iron Claw is gonna suck up most. I think it's gonna be a battle between that and Wonka, probably.
Yeah.
And I heard good things about Wonka too, which is weird because me and you were talking about like I wanted to put that on my list, but it just looks so fucking dull.
That's right. Neither one of us ended up using it, which is weird.
But evidently, I've heard only good things. And not that it has anything to do with the movie, but the fucking burger tie-in at IHOP that happened with the movie is pretty good.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, this movie looks fucking awesome. It touches on one of the things that I think is pretty scary is you're stuck in space and, you know, you're at the mercy of other people, whether or not you can get back or whether you live or die. In this case, you're at war with other people from another country that are trying to fight over the same thing, and just a whole lot of conflict going on with, I think, 5 or 6 characters in a confined area.
Yeah.
Very, very alien-esque in a sense, without the alien.
I agree. Yeah, there is a certain fragility that comes with being in space. Like, you're just so much more vulnerable.
It's the same thing why I don't like fucking the idea of, like, going on a cruise. Because, like, if there's no quick, I need to get out of here, you're on a fucking boat in the middle of the ocean. You're in a space station in the middle of space. You're going home, we say you're going home. You know, there's I can't just fucking leave whenever I want, and that sucks.
You're along for the ride.
So, yeah, I'll see this at some point. I've been renting a lot of shit on VOD lately. So maybe when it hits that, because my number one is going to be what I see in theaters. So,
yeah, and I mean, let me be clear. Like, this is my number one. I'm not going to see this in the cinema. There's nobody I would go to see this with. So I'm not going to go see it in theaters. I don't see anything in theaters outside of children's movies. But if I were to go and see, you know, films for grown-ups, it wouldn't be this. It would be your number one.
Like, hey, you want to see the Wonka movie? What's that? It's got Hugh Grant in it as an Oompa Loompa. Who the fuck is Hugh Grant? What's
just
an Oompa
fucking
Loompa?
turned me off right there.
Anyway, I think I transitioned semi-decently into it. My number one, to no one's fucking surprise, is Night Swim. I don't even know if it's a co-production. It's Blumhouse and Atomic Monster, but I'm pretty sure that those two companies merged last year, or were set to merge this year.
Yeah, I thought you told me that.
But I don't know if it's considered a co-production or because they didn't merge into like one company under one name. So I don't know, like, the politics of that. But it's James Wan and Jason Blum produced, so, you know, the guy who did Saw, and the guy who produced Megan and Five Nights at Freddy's. I think if I had to go off of what people would know them for, it would be that. There's plenty of other shit. Plenty of other shit. Plenty of better shit. But as far as what they're known for, James Wan might be known for Aquaman too now. I don't know. I don't know if his name is synonymous.
That's awful.
Yeah, it sucks because he's made so much good shit, but as far as like what the public likes, it's that's unfortunate.
I mean, isn't James Wan responsible for the entire Conjuring universe? Yeah. So I would say he's known for that.
I don't know if his name's attached. I don't know if I'm not sure his name's attached to that though. That in like people's perception.
But
he's definitely the Saw guy.
He's the Saw guy for sure. Yeah. But like he directed the original Conjuring. And Insidious. He's the ghost man.
Yeah, you know what? I'd say Insidious over Aquaman. So maybe the world's not as bleak as I once thought. Yeah, fuck Aquaman.
Seriously.
Although there's some. I haven't seen the second one, but in the original Aquaman, there's some. Despite the flaws of the movie, Jason Momoa is awesome, and there's a lot of cool Cthulhu-esque imagery in that. That I wish that was in a movie that wasn't fucking Aquaman. Anyway,
And he did fucking Megan, which I'm definitely torn about. Oh, not Megan. I'm sorry. Malignant.
fucking
I
love
was reading
Malignant.
Megan. I didn't, but I also appreciated it for what it was, but I didn't like it, but it was okay. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
Bryce McGuire is directing this. He also directed and wrote the short film that it's based off of, if you've seen that at all.
Okay, I have not.
Just to give you a quick overview. Well, maybe I shouldn't, because it's like fucking 3 minutes and you can watch it on your own.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not much to it, so fuck it. I'm gonna do it anyway. It's a woman swimming in a pool. She sees a fucking ghostly figure and she gets sucked into the water and she disappears. That's it. I don't know how the fuck that's gonna make a feature film, but we'll see.
I want to commend them, though, I will say, because in a world where I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, Hollywood's running out of ideas and all this other stuff, the concept of this would absolutely make me feel like, Jesus, they're running out of ideas. It's a movie about a haunted pool.
Okay, but we've also had movies.
But like,
we've had movies about killer fucking puppets, animatronics, condoms, sofas, kites, vibrators, and all of those are real, by the way. Couches, jeans. Yeah. So, you know.
Tires.
I don't want to talk about that one.
Yeah. Me neither.
You know what the worst part is? It's on the fucking mega list. And I hate it. And I'm gonna shit all over it if we do that episode. Yeah.
About rubber?
The silver lining, though. I get to make Cody watch that shit.
I think he's seen it. As a matter of fact, I think we watched it together.
Does that rule it out?
If I'm not mistaken.
Alright.
No.
Cool.
Not necessarily.
We ran out of shit to put on the calendar, so we're just gonna shit on rubber.
That's a fucking weird sentence.
Ironically, rubber is not the killer condom movie I mentioned.
Right.
Yeah, Bryce McGuire, who wrote and directed this. Well, he directed this. I don't know if he wrote it, but he wrote and directed the short film it's based on. He was also a writer for the upcoming horror film in March for Blumhouse, Imaginary. More on that in coming soon March. But yeah, you know what? They've been, and I guess it's Blumhouse doing it. They've been reaching into horror shorts and turning them into features quite a bit lately. Just another.
Yeah, like a lot of the creepy videos on YouTube and shit. Yeah.
Smile.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing that because.
And Smile fucking
keep
rocks.
doing that because
movie.
when my shit comes out, you know, Blumhouse reaches out to me for a contract. Fuck yeah, I'll make your fucking killer, your killer Lorax movie.
Yep.
Make your Arbor Day movie.
There you go. Yep.
Shout out.
Still waiting for your title for the killer Lorax movie.
Fucking. I don't know.
Maybe it is just like Lorax, but it's split, and then Axe has an E on the end of it.
Or some shit like that.
Outstanding.
I don't know. Something about the Onceler. There's something there. I was trying to work Onceler into like a cheesy horror title, and I didn't have anything for it.
Yeah.
Throw the Onceler in there.
I keep going back to porn. I don't know what that says about my brain. I'm like, the Kunstler? That's not helping anybody.
The Snorlax.
Snorlax. Yeah, it's this. I'm not helping anybody.
So, yeah, this movie, about a fucking haunted pool that hasn't been used in 15 years. They didn't say why in the trailer, and thank fuck for that. It's got some spooky ghost bullshit going on, and I like spooky ghost bullshit if it's done right. This movie...
Absolutely.
It's a weird fucking thing to compliment it on, but I feel like this movie's gonna have very good lighting.
I don't think that's weird. I think it's an unsung hero that people don't bring up enough.
I have fucking friends that do lighting, and let me tell you, apparently it's a pain in the ass to do.
I can only imagine.
It's the people who do lighting for a living fucking hate doing lighting for a living. Because I have a friend that does lighting for a living for films.
It seems very intricate.
It's one of those jobs where you go home, you have a beer, and you're looking around your room, and you happen to glance at a lamp, and you go, "Fuck you."
Yeah, fuck.
I used to work
shit.
at a glass manufacturing company, and whenever I would see a building that was made of a lot of panes of glass, I just go, "You're the fucking problem."
Yep. You're the enemy, glass bitch.
Yeah, but because a lot of the film, the scenes seem to be set at night, given it's fucking night swim. It's not called day swim.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Or
that,
just swim. Yeah.
The fucking opposite of Dario Argento type lighting, where it's all fucking lit green. Because I know he's known for his like red lighting. I think that's what he's. If you ask the common man what the fuck he's known for, the first thing they'd say is who, but the second thing they'd say is, "Oh, the red light guy."
I would have just said like colors. Everything is so colorful.
Yeah, but I think red's like his calling card, though.
Right.
It looked like a lot of his type of inspiration. There was a lot of like. I don't know. I like when there's like stylized lighting for specific parts of a movie. Like I haven't seen it, but Blade Runner 2049. Some of the scenes I've seen for that had some excellent lighting and color choices. Color Out of Space, same thing. Lots of purple. It's something
That's
that a lot of the times you don't notice, but sometimes you're like, "Wow, I can't believe," fuck. Meanwhile, I was watching Birdemic 3, and I was like, "We need a lighting guy in this movie. The lighting is awful." And I'm sorry, I fucking watched that for my 2023 ranking, and I had to watch the other two to watch that one. I had a bad time. Even knowing that it was a shit movie made to be a shit movie, that did not give it any leeway in me criticizing the fucking things. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that would have been my way of trying to explain to somebody that, like, you were going through some shit, but nobody would have got it. It would have been like, oh, we were going to record the show, but I'm not sure if Josh is going to be able to make it and stuff. Like, oh, yeah, well, what's going on? I'm like, he watched all 3 Birdemic movies. And, like, to me, that means something. But to other people, they might be like, so?
Well, I'm as far as like our personal lives and everything, I'm gonna continue to dance around it because I don't want, it's not. This is a fucking film podcast, so
It's about movies.
But
or shows, movies and shows.
I did make a fucking dark ass joke earlier, so that's as close.
You did. It was really funny
as
too.
close
I
to
liked
that
it.
as I'm gonna get. What was I talking about? Oh, there's also going to be 3 more Birdemic movies and a musical. So, anyway, enough of
Jesus Christ. And then a movie about the musical.
That'll then get adapted into a new movie. And do a crossover with Mean Girls.
I wanted to make sure to point out one thing. Well, 2 things. First of all, I do think a lot of the spooky shit they show, it looks cool. Looks, very James Wan. And very much like in my wheelhouse of things I would want to watch. You got the creepy fucking hair in the pool filter thing. He's reaching to get the toy and shit. It's just very, long hair is fucking scary. Whenever you end up with a handful of long hair in the water, it's fucking scary. Especially when you weren't. There was no indication that you were going to come into contact with it.
You before?
No, but like I was thinking about the ring, like when she's in the well and shit. But anyway,
trauma.
No, not me personally. The other thing I will say is I feel like the trailer gives a lot away. I thought the trailer you saw a lot of shit.
There's much to fucking hide. It's a fucking haunted pool movie. I mean, I'm not as far as script goes, I'm not expecting it to knock my socks off. That doesn't mean it can't be a good movie.
Well, I don't mean like plot points. I'm more concerned with scares, like
fucking
set piece
Smile
moments.
trailer did.
Yes, the Smile trailer killed it too, but then that movie ended up surpassing it anyway. It didn't matter. So I'm hoping this kind of rises above too, because I felt like they gave a lot of the scares away in the trailer.
Well, maybe you're right, but I think that there's a lot that they're leaving out. And that's part of me that's being hopeful, because Smile... First of all, I didn't watch that trailer before I saw the movie. I went back and saw it after, because it was back when I didn't watch trailers. And I kind of went into everything blind. But when I went back and watched it, the one scene with the neck, and you know the one I'm talking about, I'm glad I saw that for the first time in theaters, because that scared the fuck out of me. It almost made me shit myself. But there's a lot that they didn't put in the trailers, like the reveal of like the big bad at the end, and that design was fucking awesome. I know people are giving it shit because there's this modern thing with tall, lanky, white monster women, like fucking Barbarian and It and a lot of movies.
Yeah. It's always a tall, naked, monster. Yeah. I've heard the same thing.
I don't fucking consider the Smile monster to be that.
Yeah, I didn't put a gender on the fucking Smile monster. I didn't want to assume it's gender. Just looked like a fucking entity to me.
It was a pile of fucking viscera. And not the former... Well, he's dead now, so I guess he's former alive person, but I was gonna say former pro wrestler.
Which pro wrestler? Oh, Viscera. I'm sorry. I completely missed the thread on that joke.
You don't know who fucking Viscera is. Do not guess.
I do. Sorry. No, the Smile monster is just like a big thing of meat with a face
multiple
on
faces on it.
Multiple
or at
faces
least multiple
on it. You're right.
Jaw structures.
Yeah. No, I thought it rocked.
Looked
I thought it
pretty
was really cool.
It was like fucking somebody took bestgore.com. Probably shouldn't have fucking said the URL, but fuck it. I don't think it's around anymore anyway. It's like that smiley emoticon and a fucking pizza that someone dropped all meshed into one. So
Did Javi Botet play the thing in Smile? I'm assuming he did.
Don't think so.
But oh, really? And I know this show is not about Smile. I was just thinking about it.
I mean, fucking the coming soon episodes are about us having a fucking conversation.
I mean, that is really it. We happen to talk about our top 3 releases, which even that isn't true.
Find that real quick. But I don't think he was. I think it was another one of those up-and-comer guys. Oh, I don't recognize that name at all. Marty Machulis? Okay. Yeah, that doesn't ring a bell at all. So, no, I was wrong. It's not, well, he might be an up-and-comer, but he's not one I've heard of. Fuck. He'll join.
Javier Botet's only 6'7". What the fuck? He's not that much taller than I am.
People like him and Doug Jones and etc. They're important to the fucking industry.
Yeah.
Because they make cool shit happen.
Yeah.
I like the way I worded
that. They make cool shit happen. So when does Night Swim come out again? The 19th? Is that what we said?
The 5th. And it'll be in every fucking theater.
Yeah, it'll be everywhere, for sure.
It'll be right behind Mean Girls and right above ISIS.
ISIS, Jesus. All right.
I glanced at my notes of what order we were doing these in, and I misread it. I thought the fucking dot separating the fucking letters, I thought that was one of them was an I.
Fucking outstanding. Fucking ISIS is coming out in January. I don't know. It's gonna be good, I guess.
I mean, probably a fucking Middle Eastern war movie sometime this year, because there's fucking like 10 of them every year.
Yeah.
So you'll get your fucking ISIS movie later. and it'll probably be in
You'll
your
get it. It'll come.
fucking top 3. You picked shit like The
Yeah, it
Covenant
probably will.
and some other shit.
That looked good though.
I'll be watching that soon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
That was Fincher. That was 2 movies by Fincher that were interesting to me this year, and I only saw the Killer. I didn't see.
Yeah.
I didn't see
They're
Covenant
both
yet.
on my list of for catching up. So I think I'll wait. I thought no, The Covenant was Guy Ritchie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fucking mixing people up. You're right. Yep.
Oh, you know what? There's
Covenant's
one
Guy
fucking
Ritchie.
thing I meant to say up front, and I think we're about to wrap this up pretty shortly. But
I would hope so. Yeah, we're both at our
thought
number 1, so yes.
I really thought that you would have had The Beekeeper on your top 3.
Yeah.
And then I was prepared to shit all over it. So because you were gonna go, oh yeah, I'm excited for the new Jason Statham movie, and I was gonna go, I'm not excited for the new Jason Statham movie because it's a Jason Statham movie.
Yeah, it looked like the same shit
I
as
don't
every
like
other
him as an
shit.
actor. I think I've said that before. It's like the same problem The Rock has, where he just plays the same fucking role in every goddamn thing. But
Yeah.
unlike The Rock, he has no fucking personality, in my opinion. And every movie I watch him in, he's noticeably dragging it down for me. Like I want.
He's ironically that we were talking about Guy Ritchie films. He's ironically good in Guy Ritchie films. He's like his character is great in Snatch.
He was in Guy Ritchie's Operation Fortune, and I did not like that at all. So.
Oh really? Have you
No.
seen Snatch?
He was also in the Meg
He's good
2
in
this
that.
year. I didn't like that either.
Yeah, fuck
and because, I mean, stop making fucking movies with cool premises and shit. Fucking boring. I don't.
And then putting him in it.
But why the fuck is he in this? I know he was in the first one, but goddamn, no one liked the first one. Didn't you fucking learn?
They're like, well, we made the second one. I don't know.
8
Clearly,
more
we don't
books,
care.
so get ready
God, it's
for
unbelievable.
fucking the Meg 3 Resurrection or some shit.
I haven't even seen the second one. I saw the first one. It was dumb.
Fuck it.
The second one looked stupid. The shark looked like this is a stupid ass thing to care about, but the shark looked like it had really dull teeth, which just made him look silly.
I mean, I think it was in my fucking top 3 for the month that it was released in.
Yeah, I think
and
it
I
was.
watched it, and
I think you're right.
Well, now I don't know why I buy it.
That's the thing I did to myself.
So.
I think I'm gonna just go to. I'm thinking about ending it all because I just watched Meg 2. It seems to fit.
So I think that's it. So, yeah. Fuck.
That's a fucking show. We're so depressed on a January episode where everything is happening all at once. Plus, there's nothing really good coming out to talk about. Not really.
Personal lives plus pre-pod technical difficulties plus nothing worth getting super excited about. Like I'm excited about my number 1 and your number 1 and my number 2 to a degree. Hesitant about my number 3. But it's always the crappiest month of the calendar release year.
So that just means it's all up from here, man. It's all on the up and up now. And we get to watch Terminator next week. I'm fucking excited.
And Society of the Snow comes out, which we already talked about last month, but that does look pretty good. And it's up for an Oscar.
It does.
Oh,
is it? Fuck yeah. Okay.
It made the shortlist, I believe.
Awesome. Yeah, because I know the noms aren't coming out until like February 23rd or something like that. So good to know.
I mean, yeah, officially, but pretty much got an idea of what's going to be on the ballot. So
yeah. So you're doing your homework ahead of time because you really want me to watch
Godzilla -1, from what I understand, because it was a December release.
I would be shocked.
Well, if something releases in December, it can usually go fuck itself. Because December is when people start doing their best of list. It's like, the year's not over, dude. Iron Claw hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
But that's up for them. but I think they submitted Godzilla for eligibility. I think it was submitted too late. I still haven't seen that. I'm gonna. Fucking gonna.
I want to really badly, yeah.
So, yeah.
But anyway, now we're fucking rambling just to ramble. So why don't we wrap it up for this week? As always, very much appreciate you folks checking out the Screen Sermon Podcast, listening to us talk our shit about upcoming releases for the month. Obviously, go and support the film industry. Go see flicks. Support the actors and the writers specifically now that these strikes are done. You know, go see their work and support it. And you know, in the meantime, we will continue to review things. We got Terminator and Terminator 2 coming up in subsequent weeks because Josh needs to see them, and so we're gonna make sure to kind of dive into those before we return to the Sean Baker arc. So we'll get in on that next week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be all three of us, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, with that in mind, please get in touch with us. As I always say, you know, we want your feedback, we want your suggestions, we want your, you know, film recommendations, things like that. Drop them in the comments on our YouTube channel. You could get in touch with us on X at Screen Sermon, or you could always email us at screensermonpod@gmail.com. Whichever one of those options takes your fancy. Please do, because we are looking to interact. So for that, Josh, thanks for getting in here and doing this with me. Getting the episode done and telling me about the things you're looking forward to and having a little bit of fun.
Thank you for having me, and don't forget, as always, to watch House.
I won't. See you next week.